Good morning, everybody. This is another amazing morning where we're gonna look at charts. We're gonna talk about why the DXY is drunk AF and try to find potential trade setups. I just got into Euro long again. We're gonna talk about that as well. But I've been calling for the DXY to go to these levels, but the problem is that the DXY is not complying. It's going a little bit higher. It's going a little bit higher than what I want it to be. I mean, it can still be good. Sorry guys, I hear it again in my ears. I hear myself. Yes, exactly. I just have it open because I monitor the live and I had the YouTube open and it starts echoing in my ears. So that's not, all my alerts are going off. Guys, let's get into the show because it's something interesting is happening today. Good morning, everybody. My name is 𝗥𝗲𝗍. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We're doing this every single day at 6:15 GMT. Good morning for people who are in this side of the world and good evening for the ones that are in Australia. Drew, I see you, my man. Good morning. How is it going? I hope you're doing great. How is everybody? Let me know in the chat if how you're doing, if you're looking at anything. What should we do? What should we look at? What should we, what should we do on this show? I just wanted to give you a rundown on what I got myself into. So I see the DXY is pushing down a little bit. So I actually opened a Euro long right here. I'm hoping to see this pop. I'm still not confident about this level, but if you're trading forex, this might be the trade that you want to take. We are at a major support. I'm gonna deep dive into this as well. I just wanted to give you, if you watch me for forex, let me know in the chat if you watch me for good or forex or what is it, crypto, forex, or what are you watching me. But this could be a great trade in my opinion. We are the support. The DXY should fall. Like, we're gonna talk about the DXY today, but it should fall, and it is starting to react from the level that I marked previously. And that's why I also took this Euro trade, which is doing pretty fine. Okay, so let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I see 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁. Good morning, man. Good morning. Soup, I see you as well. Soup, what's up? Okay, cool. So let's jump right into it. So we have, as I said in my video yesterday on the show, you probably have seen it. If you're not, then it's important to know that there are crazy things happening this week in the market. There are a lot of economic announcements and whatnot that impact the markets as we know them, and that impacts the DXY, and that impacts Bitcoin and the crypto market as well in general. So it is definitely something to look out for. We had the PMI numbers coming yesterday. They were higher than expected, and that forecasted, expected, yeah, same thing. And that is good for the currency. Now, it is good for the currency, and that's what forex calendar tells us. But the problem is that if we have an expansion and they want to tame inflation, it's gonna be very critical that the inflation numbers next week come in a little bit lower, because if inflation is raising and we have expansion, that means that more tightening is required, and that could push the dollar higher, and that could actually be very bad for us, as us meaning the crypto bros. HODLBox, good morning, bro. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, so today we have in Switzerland, we have some numbers not that relevant if you don't trade the Swiss franc. We had Australian cash rate numbers and whatnot, not relevant, but we have job openings in the US today. It's relevant to see again how the economy is doing, the number of job openings during the reported month, excluding the farming industry. So again, if the actual is greater than forecast, it's good for currency because we see expansion, we see strength, we see demand for the US dollar. So it's gonna be an interesting number. I said yesterday that if you can avoid trading, I would recommend to limit your risk at least. I still stand by it, even though I just got into a Euro long. I'll explain to you why that is, but just so you know, this will impact the DXY, and that can impact the Bitcoin as well. Now the question really comes down to, okay, so how would this react? So if the number comes in lower So if the number comes in lower than expected, that could be bad for the DXY, and the DXY is a major resistance, so that could be good for us as well. Again, there are a lot of things happening this week. We have a PMI, service PMI, and then we have non-farm employment change, and we have unemployment rate. So a lot of things happening this week, which could and will impact the DXY and eventually will impact Bitcoin. So so we have to pay attention to that. Whoa. Who wanted to see this redness? Yesterday we looked at bubbles. This is Banter Bubbles, guys. If you're not there, you're missing out. Check out Banter Bubbles. It's a great tool to communicate as well and to get alpha on different coins. Drew is asking, so short to about 20, entry around current level. Would appreciate your thoughts. Let's do that. That's awesome, Drew. First of all, I appreciate you coming to the show and commenting. I'm definitely going to look at Sol for you. Not a question. Awesome. So bubbles are red. So that means like we are having. I actually think that we might be having a pullback. And we're gonna talk about the total and the relation to DXY as well. So let's see what is happening. So here's what I see. The DXY, if you follow my content, we've been talking about this forever, that it is coming for the 50% retracement. It's coming back to the premium. Now, the reason why you have to talk a lot about this as well is some people might say, you know, like we talked about DXY a lot and all that, but it is super freaking relevant. Like, guys, this drives the market as a whole. It's very relevant to talk about this. And we came up to the equilibrium, which was around this 106.321 level, and we get a perfect rejection from the level that I marked, which was this level 106. What was it? 106.758. Look at this rejection, and then we break below, and this is what I've been explaining yesterday as well, that we create a 4-hour low. This is a strong MSS, so it's not a decision point anymore, but it's a strong MSS. That means market structure shift. That means that the sentiment has shifted on the DXY on the 4-hour. Like, if you look at it, it hasn't happened. You know, it hasn't happened previously. So none of these major levels has been broken. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because this indicates that we are reversing on the DXY, and the reversal on the DXY would mean that the crypto assets and risk assets should start moving up. And then we have this rejection. I was actually short. I took a short here on the DXY, and it didn't work, you know, and the reason being is because of the news that we got yesterday, because of the expansion as well. The news were driving this, and when I say news, I mean the economic situation and macro situation. Now, why this is interesting is because this week this can have a major plot twist, you know, like we don't know what the week holds, and especially next week also we have CPI. Let's look at next week. Next week we also have a PPI. We have the minutes coming out from the FOMC, and then we have CPI. So and unemployment claims. So next week is also very interesting. So whatever happens this week, you know, it's not only this week is gonna determine what the market is gonna do, but also next week is gonna be super interesting. So what I see on the DXY is that I said that if we break above this level, and let me pull this up here. I said if we break above this level, this was our decision point. If we break above this 107.1, what was the level exactly? Let me look at it. You can see it up here. This is the number that I'm looking at. So the high was 107.195. That's the level that we should not close above. We might possibly wick it, and that's like kind of fine, but not close above. And we have a little wick here, and this goes up to 107.210. So we actually wick above. The question is, can we close above? If we close above, that's a strong indication that we're going to the next level. And the next level, although this is not a great level, I didn't even have this marked on my previous drawing. I'll take this liquidity off as well. But there is a point of interest on the 4-hour up here. This did not break any major levels, because this is the major level that should have been broken, but this did not cause any major breaks, and this is why this area is the major level. We have relatively equal lows, then a smash through here. So like this area is a very strong supply zone. Now, the fact that we're pushing through this, we have a reaction and pushing through this, tells me that it's freaking manipulated. So like all the news and everything else that's happening showing possibly a fake strength in this whole thing. Now, from the beginning, as I said, there are two major areas that we got to look for at the DXY, and the one was this area, what we were at, this 1073 to from 1062 to 1073, and this is still a major area. Like, we wick through fine, but we can still reject. I like this. I like the fact that there is a market structure shift here. I like the fact that it can reverse. Also, Kyle pointed out that it has sorry about that. There's 9 weeks of green candles, and that means that the potential reversal is coming in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, it's 12, not even 9. It's 12 weekly green candles, and that shows that there needs to be a correction. You know what is interesting here is that I think there needs to be a correction now. If the correction doesn't happen from the, and this is the other level that I pointed out, if the correction doesn't happen from this level, or we close above, because correction is going to happen, you know, it will come back to at least to touch onto the discount, I believe, or, you know, touch into the break or something like that. But if we close above, this level on at least on the 4 hour, that's a very strong indication that we might go higher. And if we might go higher, you know, we're gonna have a little pullback, but that's gonna be the time. On that pullback is gonna be the time to get out of crypto, because if we go higher, guys, that means we potentially can reverse from this level. I don't think this is gonna you know what, yeah, I will leave it on, but I don't think this is gonna happen. That means that the DXY is potentially going to push another 2-3%, and that's gonna be 20,000 Bitcoin, you know. So it's very, very important to watch out for the DXY. My analysis, again, just to recap, is that we achieved equilibrium. I think this is a fake out. I think that this was driven by the economic stuff, that the economic news that was coming out. I think we are going to see a reversal here. Maybe we wick out, but if we close above, my target is going to be 109, 110. Like, that's what I'm going to look at. Let's look at the total market cap and what the total market cap is doing in relation to the DXY. So the total market cap, again, we talk about this most of the time, but it's very important to know that the total market cap, like, I marked this 1 hour point of interest here. We came down, we have a little bit of a reaction, but it's not strong. It's not a strong reaction. We should have taken the high. So that tells me that this liquidity is going to be taken. Potentially, we're going to come down to the 1.038 trillion mark. And if that happens, you know, that's like another 2-3% drop on the total, and that would mean that we get a major drop on Bitcoin. Not necessarily a major drop, but a massive drop on Bitcoin. So potentially like another 8% or something like that, 5%, 5 to 8%, which would put us down to this 25 to 26,000 region, and that can happen. So that's something to keep an eye on. If we cannot close above here, this is the decision point. We gotta close above this level, which is 1.078. This is where we should close above. Let me just put this up. Price label, thank you. And then I'm gonna put decision point as well. So we're gonna close above this 1.078. If we could do that, that would be freaking awesome. Then we could potentially, we're building up liquidity, so we would come back down, and that would be a great entry, especially if it aligns with the DXY. By the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash the like button. I see Master here. Hey all, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. If you don't follow me on Twitter, go and follow me on Twitter. And if you are watching this on Twitter, go follow me or subscribe to the YouTube channel where we do this every single day. So let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, as I was expecting this to come back to this region down here, to this 27. So we had the push here, and I was explaining on the other day that this was our major decision point. The fact that it was taken means to me that we are going to start pushing to 31,000-ish region. Now, I was expecting us to go a little bit higher, reject from here, and then come back. It's still good. The only problem is that if we start reversing here, we build up sell side liquidity, and that can be an issue, and that could align with the DXY pushing and the total dropping and Bitcoin dropping. But let's not run that much forward. What I'm thinking is that we get the reaction, we get the pullback here, but we induce this little order block down here on the lower time frame, and that means that we might see one leg down. So what I'm possibly looking at on Bitcoin is a push down here. So I want to see either this. So this breaker got touched. Actually, this is what I want to show you. So the breaker got touched here. So potentially we could reverse from here. would not be that happy because we'd leave all this liquidity behind, which is not the best. The other thing that I would look at is this 15-minute point of interest, and with this potentially this. So this is the OB that this is the order block that we actually induce. Let me look at the shorter time frame, lower time frame. Yeah, so we need to come back here. So like this would be the level. This would be the actual level that we would need to touch. Let's look at it. Even possibly down here. So, but if we could touch like this OB got induced. So this 27,230 is the area that I'm looking at. If we could come back down here, and I think if we build up enough liquidity, we can. I would get in on a, if we see a lower time frame reaction, I would get in on a long here. You know, I would not even necessarily wait for a lower time frame confirmation. Like this might be a great long in and of itself without any lower time frame confirmation. You know, we've got the liquidity built up as well, so we've got to watch out. But this could be an interesting trade for me, especially because I'm targeting, you know, as I said, I'm targeting the 30, so 29 first. Everybody's talking about this level, but here's the thing, I don't think this is gonna be a major thing. I know that there was a reaction, but we just did, you know, this was the distribution. So now we accumulate, then we manipulate it here, and then now we are distributing, and I think we are coming back to the 31-32k region. So I know this is gonna trap a lot of people. Either we just freaking shoot through, or we're gonna come up here, have a fake out to the downside, and then move on to the upside. I don't think this is a major level. This is 29,400. I don't think that we're gonna hold or we're gonna reject big time there. Also because of the liquidity, but also because it's way too obvious. Okay, so let's look at the scenario. So basically what I'm looking at is I'm looking at longs, and I would like to see a lower time frame reaction. This could be a great level. Without a lower time frame reaction, I might put a limit order here. I like to take confirmation because it's crypto and anything can happen, and we know crazy shit is going down every single day. So that's what I'm interested at. The other thing is the Bitcoin dominance, right? So we need to see this break. As I pointed out earlier, this did not break yet. If this breaks, Bitcoin is pushing to 32,000. I'm pretty confident. We need to see this break first. Yes, exactly. We need to see a break first. So let's look at, now that we're still at crypto, let me look at Sol. I haven't looked at Sol. This is why it's good that you guys ask for Sol and ask for coins, because then I'm also gonna start looking at. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, and follow me on Twitter. Let's look at it. So first of all, I'm just gonna do this analysis on this with you. Okay, so we see here this was FTX, you know, liquidation, so I would not take this under consideration, but I would look at it this way. And what I see is the following. Let me just take this up here. I see the following. So we need to see the break. We see the break below here, and then we see the break above. So we have a decent trend with the pullback, then with the push. So we have the 4-point structure on the main structure, and that means that we can definitely look for longs. On this leg we have seen a little bit of push to the downside, right? We came back to the discount and then tapped onto. Did we tap onto some kind of demand here? Yeah, we did. So this level was responsible for taking all the liquidity from here and making a new high, meaning an MSB, a market structure break, a breaker structure basically. So all this considered, I would be looking at longs. Drew is asking short entry to 20. Now here's the thing, you could potentially short this thing, and I'll tell you why. Let me look at it. The point of interest on the daily. So now we had a reversal. So here's what we have. We have a 4-point contract, right? So the reason why I would not short it, and why you could short it. So the reason why I would not short it is because you have a 4-point contact, right? Structures. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, as I explained. So that means that we have established a new trend. If we don't consider this, as a major point because of the liquidation that happened with FTX and with the whole market. So if that's the case, then we have established a major trend on the daily and potentially on the weekly as well, right? So the same thing, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have established a major trend on the daily. So that means that if you would start shorting this, you would go counter trading. I mean, that's fine if you know the risk, but you're gonna never want to short on a weak level. And in an uptrend, every level is weak. Now, this is how it goes. I want to explain this to you guys. So in an uptrend, when you have an uptrending market, every low is a strong low because it's strong enough to break the previous high. And every high is a weak level because it is being broken by the demand that is coming in. So if you're in an uptrending market, every high is weak, every low is strong. And in the opposite, if you're in a downtrend, if you're in a downtrending market, every high is strong and every low is weak because the highs are breaking the lows and therefore the price is making a lower low and a lower high. Now, how does that look in the chart? Well, if you are in a downtrend like this, that means that every high like this and like this is a weak strong high because this level was strong enough to break through the previous level, and then it comes back and then breaks through again the previous, so to say, demand zone. And that's the opposite. So if you understand this structure, you understand that you would not build your house on, you know, weak foundations, right? You would only build your house on strong foundations. So that's why you only want to long on strong levels and only want to short on strong levels, and you do not want to short or long on weak levels because that is actually what's called counter trading and can wreck you on the long term. Now, this said, I also do some counter trading. It's not the best thing to do, but sometimes it makes sense. Now, if there was a reason for this to go short, I would potentially take a short position, but there is not many reasons to do that. Why? Because we have a sufficient market here. So we have established a higher time frame trend. Then on the daily, we had a very nice break here, an MSS. Oh, sorry. So like we had a very nice MSS here, a market structure shift. So we actually broke below the lows here with a very clean break and bounced right back up. And that indicates that we had a very strong reversal of the trend. So that means that we are in an uptrend. We are shifting the trend on the daily, and that's strong. And then we took all the liquidity. Will there be a pullback? That's the real question. Yes, probably there will be a pullback. Why? Because we have this and this is the part why you could short it, right? So we have this. Sorry, this is not even the 4 hour. This is the daily. So this is the daily point of interest, right? So if you go down on the 4 hour, what you would want to see to short is to see a break below the 4 hour low, right? This is what you would want to see. But even then, you have to keep in mind that this is still a weak level. So this is a weak level considering the fact that we have shifted trend and we started our move up. So this was a strong level previously, but it becomes a weak level because we are taking all the daily and the 4 hour highs. So that means that I would expect this to be broken. And the reason why I expect it to be broken, I do not know when the market is going to break it. I have no idea what the market is going to do. I can just react on what the chart is saying. And if I look at it and I say, okay, we took all these highs, we could have shorted here, but we took it. So that means that's a strong indication that we are reversing, and we are reversing, and we took this high and this high and this high and this high. Now the likelihood of us taking this high is very big, especially because we have relatively equal highs here. Look at this. So it's a trend line liquidity up here with all these. It's actually a pool, sorry about that. It's actually a pool. Like, look at this. We have this high, then we have this trend line, and we have these highs. So this is liquidity up here, and that means that the only place where I would potentially look for short is above this level. So potentially somewhere here. So I would look for shorts only at these levels. This will be taken, in my opinion. But even then, why would you want to counter trade? So what you want to do is that you want to wait for a pullback. You want to wait for a pullback to a demand zone, potentially here, by the way. Like, this is a 4 hour demand zone. This would have been a perfect long, you know? So like, you have this demand zone. You're like, okay, what is it that I'm looking for? I want to wait for a 5-minute confirmation, which we got here. Look at this. This is just a perfect setup. So you have a strong high here. You have a strong high here. And that strong high was caused by this level here, right? So I go down on the 3-minute. I see what's there. I see it's a big rejection block. I take the 50% of that wick and I put my entry there. This could have been my trade. I mean, I didn't take this trade obviously because I didn't look at the coin, but this could have been the trade. Why? Because you have a 4 hour strong demand zone. This is that created new highs. then you have a 15-minute confirmation, or you have a 5-minute confirmation of a break, a clear 5-minute strong confirmation. Then it built up enough liquidity for it to come back down to this rejection block, and then moves on. Now it might be a little bit too much what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to explain to you, this it's follow me on Twitter, by the way, follow me on Twitter and come to these shows. This is how you're gonna learn. But what I'm saying is that you should not look for shorts. You should not look for shorts, in my opinion, but you could do it. Also here, like if you would say, okay, so this is in the 4-hour, I'm just gonna give one more example. Like this is the daily point of interest. Okay, if this is the daily point of interest, the 4-hour rejection will start with the 5-minute rejection. So I go into the 5-minute chart and I'll try to look for an order block up here. Like I won't do that because it won't allow me to go back. So I'll look for an inefficiency. So this is the beginning of the fair value gap, right? So let's see if this has been touched perfectly. So this is the beginning of the inefficiency. So usually if you have a point of interest like this, a point of interest like an order block, a bearish order block, because this caused the dump and whatnot, even though that we are bullish, there was a dump from this point of interest. So what you want to do is that you want to go down to the so there's a point of interest here, and even though we are bullish, this is a bearish order block, a bearish point of interest. But that's not a problem, because if you want to look down, you have to see a 4-hour rejection, a 4-hour confirmation, a strong low broken to confirm that the trend is reversing, and you can get in on a short. Now, how do you get a 4-hour rejection? How do you look for a 4-hour lower low? Where first you got to look for a 5-minute lower low, right? A 1-minute, and then a 5-minute, and then a 15-minute. So how you could have done it is that you have to look for an inefficiency that I said, a fair value gap, and the beginning of that inefficiency, if it is in a higher time frame point of interest, will probably serve as a great rejection point. And you see it very well. This is the beginning of the inefficiency on the previous high, and it is in a higher time frame point of interest, bearish order block. So I gotta look for the low to be broken. Now, what was the low? Well, this was the low. This was the low that created this high. I am the low. So that was the MSB, a market structure break, and then this low was broken here as well. So what you could have done is to go, okay, so where is the order block that was responsible for that blow? Well, it's this. So you could potentially have placed an order here. This would have made perfect sense. But again, like shorting on a weak level, I would not build my foundation on a weak level either. So that's just not something I'd recommend. I would recommend you wait and get in on a long position when you can. So actually you could actually go along on Sol now. Like this would not be a stupid trade. If you can handle, if you can handle the 5% stop loss, which I think you don't, but proper risk management, you could potentially go along here. Or let's look at wait, there's also a bunch of liquidity built up here, a bunch of liquidity, so don't go long. So potentially, you can wait for this level to be hit, go back to the 22, 23. If it goes back, good on us. If not, I'm not worried of missing this as a short, no problem. I hope this answers your question, Drew. I hope this is something that you were looking for. Guys, let me know in the chat what you think. Let me know in the chat if you like this, if you enjoy the content. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter, and come and interact. I actually interact on Twitter a lot. I actually reply all the YouTube comments as well. So let's do it. Let's see what our Euro trade is doing. So then the next thing will be, what I wanted to talk about is, let's look at this. Nice. So we need to see. So the reason why I actually pulled the trigger way too early on this, to be very honest with you. Ooh, it popped. It just popped. I pulled the trigger way too early because I didn't see this break. This is a strong level, and look at it. It's the direct correlation between this. Look at it. Immediately when the strong level broke on the Dixie, the euro pumped. So like the thing is that this is again strong foundation, and we see the British pound USDT. Let's look at that as well. Yeah, exactly. I would actually short this, but let's talk about that later. Let's look at so many things are happening, guys. So many things are happening. Where's my Dixie? It's up here. Drew says, many thanks, very clear and throughout explanation. I am happy you like it, my man. I'm happy. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing this. Okay, cool. So what do we see here? We see the DXY breaking nicely this 5-minute level here, and that indicates that we are going to see a reversal. And now what I explained as well, like this is we had a, if we don't close above here on the 4 hour and we wigged it out, that's liquidity sweep, we wigged it out. But if we don't see a close above here, this is gonna reject, because this here is bullshit. This here is being drunk. This here should come back down, and this needs to start the reversal on the daily, guys. So this needs to start the reversal on the daily and come back to at least to 104 and then sub 100. Obviously there are a lot of events happening, so we will have to see how that unfolds. But so far what I see here is that the reason why I pulled the trigger early is because I saw this being taken, and I saw liquidity is building up, and the price was not able to close above here so far. So that means that we took liquidity and then it rejected. Now that we're closing below here, it was worth the risk for me, especially because the euro is also, if you look at it, it's on a very strong, it also came back to the equilibrium, but it's also in a very strong area. So if you look at it, it is on a daily point of interest. It entered on the daily point of interest, is just touched on it, and it is in a 1 hour and 4 hour point of interest as well. So this could be a very great place for us to start seeing a reversal. So it just makes a lot of sense if you, and also it's very important, like you have to put together, especially when you're trading, whatever you trade, crypto, forex, whatever you trade, you cannot just take one asset and look at, this is what I've done in the beginning as well. And shout out to Mason, my man, Rain. You know what, actually go follow Rain on Twitter. Let me just show this to you. Go follow Rain on Twitter. He taught me a lot. He's a very nice guy, very cool guy. Go follow him. He's a legend. And if you go follow him, let him know that I sent you. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you is that you have to look for confirmations on different levels. So you cannot just say, okay, I'm gonna go and trade Bitcoin. That's not how it works. This is what I've done in the beginning, and I don't know how you feel about this, but probably you have experiences as well. I got into the chart and I'm like, I'm gonna trade Sol today, or I'm gonna trade Bitcoin today, and then you don't look at anything else. You just start trading that coin and whatnot. And it's very important that markets are so dynamic, and especially with all this shit is happening on the macro scale, it's very important for you to really pay attention to everything that's out there. So first of all, you got to pay attention to the DXY, then you got to pay attention to the total market cap, then you got to pay attention to Bitcoin, and then you can pay attention to all the other coins. And the same thing with forex. Like if you trade a forex pair, if you trade dollars or euros or whatnot, you have to know what's happening in that country. You have to go into forex calendar and you have to see what the events are. You have to see what the numbers are. Well, you have to see if it's an expansion or not an expansion. You have to see how this whole, if the currency is going to strengthen or not. So you got to take under consideration a lot of things. Soup says, great to hear your clear train of thoughts level by level. I'm happy you like it. I'm happy you like it. Okay, so let's look at this euro trade again. So now what we saw is that we saw the DXY breaking this level. I would expect a little bit of reversal here because of the liquidity. Again, where? To the 5-minute point of interest. The same thing. Like we gotta see, we broke this level. Now we confirmed that the trend is going to shift. So we are going to see maybe just a short-term pullback, but that's enough for me to, you know, to long for 1 to 3 risk reward on the euro, for example. But we are going to see a little bit of pullback here, most probably, or we're just gonna bleed through because of the liquidity that's built up. Yes. So let's look at the euro. As I said, the euro is in a very great area for reversal. We do see a little bit of reaction here. We actually did wick through as well here, so we closed above the decision point, and that indicates again negatively correlated. That means that correlated is a difficult word to say. So then we have a market structure shift, because we had an MSB here, market structure break. So that means that we are now going to see potentially going to see a reversal on the euro. I'm targeting this area, and the reason why I'm targeting this is 2 reasons. Number one is because there is this point of interest on the DXY, and this is a great 15-minute level as well. So you know, again, it's a macro and a lot of news and stuff's coming in, so it is a level that we need to look for, and that aligns very nicely with this rejection on the euro. So I'm gonna try to take in profits around this region if I see a lower time frame reversal. Other than that, I'll let it run. Let's look at the pound. I would actually short the pound. Also, it's great hedging, but also I think that this is coming down. So this is coming down big time. We do see a reversal here. No, actually it can be good. Let me look at it. 4-hour point of interest. Again, is this in an, no, yeah, the reason why we short is because it has to come back to the discount, in my opinion. And also there's liquidity laying down before. So if we reverse here, we can potentially start seeing a push. Other than that, we have to come down to this region, to this daily point of interest. Let's look at the daily 4-hour. Guys, if you're new to the channel, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. I'd love to connect with you. Come follow me on Twitter. We do this every single day. No, I would actually go long. Yeah, I would actually long here if it comes back. So we have a decent 15-minute. It's actually a very nice 15-minute reversal. So we see a very nice 15-minute reversal here. So when the DXY is gonna take a breath, this could be a great opportunity for us to get in here. Yeah, it will fly. No problem, we'll come back. Don't FOMO in on any other trades. It's very important to stay calm. Let's look at what it does. So it's building up liquidity now for it to come back later. And also a lot of relative equal lows. Not that happy about this. Let's look at it. Yeah, building up liquidity. Not that happy about this. I think I would play this, but I would potentially just play it here. If it comes back to this region, I would play it. What's the stop loss here? $0.6. Yeah, if it comes back here, I'd play it. I'll play. Now the dog is unleashed. The beast is unleashed. So it's going to skyrocket. Yeah, I'll put an alert here. If it comes back here, I'll potentially do it. DXY is breaking. Now it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what the euro is doing. Push in. Yeah, let's see if we see a major reversal here, I'll close my position, because it might just be a little bit of let's see what was the opening. So I'm gonna look for the opening, which is like midnight New York. It's like the true opening. So anything below is discount. So yeah, so if we see a reversal here, that's not the best. We potentially can see a reversal here, so we have to pay attention. I'm just gonna put an alert here. Okay. And also here, good. And then I had this here, which I wanted to short. And yeah, so this is gonna be the same thing. So when the DXY is taking a breath up here, we can short this. Same thing, connect everything with everything. The DXY is going to, when the DXY is gonna come back, if it's gonna come back, this will be a great area for us to look for a short. Again, why? Because we see the break on the 5-minute, and actually I think we see it on the 15-minute. No, not yet. But we see it on the 5-minute, a clear break. So that means that we are going to come push back up. This is a fake out here. This is a retail trap. You think it's a resistance and it's not. So it's potentially going to come back up here and then reject from here. This is what I'd be looking at. I'll set an alert here and wait for it to come back. Okay. Someone is saying, hey 𝗏𝗏, would you please have a look at gold? Reversal incoming. Let's look at gold. Let me just leave this here. Ooh. Again, gold. Ooh, nice find. Good one. I'm not trading gold, to be very honest with you, but this is looking juicy. This looks good. So let's look at it. So again, thought process, right? This is why we're here. First of all, the first thing I see is what? Look at this. Relative equal eyes. This means liquidity. Whoa, this could be a great trade. This could be an interesting trade. We're in an uptrend, right? We're coming up. We come back a little bit here, retest, but we're in an uptrend. So this should in theory hold. Did we come back 50%? No. So now we are coming back to 50%, and we are in the daily point of interest. This is a great trade, brother. This is a great opportunity. It'd be a great opportunity. Let's look at it. So I'm gonna find what's the beginning of the inefficiency on the 4 hour. Let's see what it does on the 15. I can't go back that far. Ooh, guys, this is interesting. This is interesting. Yeah, let's do this. We need to see this break, but it will potentially happen. Such a huge stop loss though. Yeah, proper risk management. But yeah, I agree with you. This can be very interesting. This can be a very interesting trade. It will need to come back down, but again, this is correlated with the DXY, right? So we need to see the DXY not reversing here for this to work. What I'm gonna look for is and we need to wick this through. We need to wick through here. And if we wick through here or close above, that can be very good, because then what we're gonna look for is this. So potentially this could be the entry that we're gonna look for, and then you can keep it down here, or you can actually keep it up here, but this would be the next entry. So this is one entry for me on gold, which is around 1819.5, and then this is my next entry. Yeah, which is like 1817. I'll put this here. Come on. Yeah, this could be good, but we need to break this. Thank you for the ask. I don't really trade gold, but this is good. So we need to wick through this 5 minutes. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. I see some of your regulars coming back here, which is pretty awesome. I appreciate you all being here. Let's look at what the euro is doing, guys. If you gonna, yeah, you see already. I don't like this. You know, already we are seeing some kind of reaction here. This might be good, but we need to consider the fact that it can just simply come back here and then reverse. Touch on, you know what would be best? If it induced the OB. So if it doesn't come back to the point of interest and then it reverses, that would be awesome, because that means that the demand wasn't touched and the push back to the point of interest is actually a fake level. So that would be awesome. Or we just bleed through. Let's see what happens, guys. I truly appreciate all of you. If you share this video, if you share the tweet that I posted, you know, I posted about the fact that I'm going live. If you share this, I truly appreciate that. It helps a lot. I'm going to 100,000 followers by 2025. So I appreciate all of you being here. I truly do. Thank you so much for watching, and see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Have fun.